right, J Hood, how's it going?
Man, it's going good, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Glad to have you back.
Hey, man, glad to be back, man. Cliche, but I'm glad to be back, man. You know, anytime that I can get out here and, you know, speak a little bit of wisdom to the world, man, I gladly will.
Man, that's what it is, man. You know, the last interview did really good. Really good numbers, man. Well, I wanted to get right into the biggest news in the drill community, and that is Trap Lord Ross's documentary titled King Von, Rap's First Serial Killer. Just off the name, you know, how do you feel about that?
Man, just off the name, I know the life that he lived, and none of us are perfect. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, if you know, a serial killer, if it's so many amount of bodies that would, you know, get the people to look at you as a serial killer, if the truth is the truth. But for me, you know, knowing him being my friend, you know, me knowing the love side of him and how, you know, everything that he did was because we were stuck in a war against our own, and we've been tricked into it, man. So it's a lot of ways that I feel about it, but, you know, pertaining to the name, man, Cam, you know, I try to gird my loins about with truth and walk in truth, but, you know, it hurts. You know, the truth hurts. You know, that's just the truth. So I could just say the truth hurts. You know, nothing cuts deeper than the truth. So before I say anything that is, you know, okaying what he's done, you know, I would just say the truth hurt, and that is rooted in truth. But like everything that's what's going on, man, I feel like we all have a part in, you know, how the lives change out for those who are, you know, like King Von's. I feel like a lot of us got a part in that, you know, whether you glorify the music or you glorify the TV shows that glorify that Black Death. I feel like a lot of it is all tied together, man. So yeah, Von messed up, but I feel like we as a people, you know, let Satan, you know, cause division within us. And so, man, I feel like, again, man, we all got a part in it. Everybody got a part in it.
Did you have a chance to watch it or any parts of it or anything?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't even watch it like that, you know, because I already know what they're going to talk about. Mostly they're going to use my stuff that I've talked about to show about, you know, that's what I've been seeing them do on Snapchat, you know, basically using all the stuff that I said.
So in the documentary, you know, which, you know, he did do pretty good amount of research and everything, you know. He uses a lot of King Von's tweets and his music, police reports to link him to 11 murders that Von was either accused of doing or being involved in. And that's where he gets the serial killer title and narrative from.
Yeah.
Me, you know, growing up, man, I never really envisioned like a gangster has a serial killer. And I always, when I think of a serial killer, I always thought of like just some random dude who like just goes around and just kidnaps people and just kills them for no reason. You know what I mean? Like I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, in a sense, that's really what they are. You feel me? People would know. I wouldn't say the motive that we have as Black people is a good enough motive for us to go out there and kill people, but it's not like they are just messed up in the mind. Our people are deceived, and we think that if we go knock somebody off, that's just one less person that we get to, you know, that we protect ourselves from coming and knocking us off, versus being a serial killer. You just killing anybody just because you want to kill, versus, you know, Von being deceived to thinking that he was protecting his people. But, you know, he wasn't protecting his people. We are all each other's people, no matter what we look like. And so it's just deceit. It's deceit from the enemy, which is not us. It's a spiritual war.
One of the things in the documentary where he tries to link Von with the narrative, man, is there's more than a few times where Von talks about cereal in kind of a suspicious way. Like one time he tweeted, shoot a dude, then eat some cereal. And, you know, and so there was quite a few of these situations that he brought up during the course of this documentary.
Yeah.
You know, What do you think about that?
I think, obviously since he's trying to paint him as a serial killer, that if he brought up the word serial, I don't think Von necessarily was doing it because he thought of himself as a serial killer. Because we don't think of ourselves like that. You know how it is in the hood. Niggas think of themselves savages. They can't be touched. You just think of yourself as one of them niggas, but, it's rooted in darkness. And so, but I don't think that there's no ties like Von was, seeking to be a serial killer. But, we seek for the appraisal of men and sadly in the hood, the more bodies you get, the more work you put in, the more everybody fear you, the more everybody, all the women, they attracted to you. And it's like, if we could take a look at that and just think about that, like how the more evil we are towards our own people, the more love our people gives us. Like, just think about that. Like, isn't that should show the spiritual war right there. And it ain't about black and white. It ain't about black or black. It's the war that we can't see that's getting us to okay it and getting us to feel like it's okay to take out these actions. Can't think about it, man. Just think about it. Spiritual war is something we can't see, but everybody's fighting in it. And many people are losing. And because we living in the flesh, and it's, the flesh got 5 senses. The body, the man got 5 senses: hear, seeing, smell, touching, and whatever the last one is. And so, if we can't see it, smell it, touch it, or hear it, or something like that, then we don't think about it. And I'm talking about the spiritual war, because we think the war is with white people and black people, or black people. It's not. But it's the enemy who we all must be, on the lookout for, trying to cause division between blacks and white. That's trying to cause division between black and black. This is who, and what is it? It's the entertainment. In the book, it says that the enemy privately throws darts, fiery arrows at our hearts. And the heart is the foundation. So if the foundation of a man be destroyed, what good is that man? That's a deep, deep, deep question that a lot of people gonna have to think a little bit back on that. If they targeting all of our hearts and they destroying all of our hearts, and that's the foundation of a man, what good is you? What good am I, Cam, to love you, to love me, if your heart you think that I'm your enemy, but I'm not? That's the war.
Yeah, man. It seems like a lot of these wars, these street wars, really start over nothing.
Nothing.
And I look back on things, and I've interviewed a lot of people, man, and a lot of people have friends, cousins that they grew up with that are their ops. And I've said this before, but it just always feels like somebody should have been able to pick up the phone and call their cousin and end it before it got out of control.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Like, look at Buka, Tay, like they cousins, and then they got cousins on the ops, man. And like you said, and the thing is, we put claps, applauses, likes, attention over love. That's just what it is. We put money, attention, clout. We put that over love, so they gonna put that stuff. Again, it's what the world is doing to all of us, man. It's focusing. The world is governed by evil, and so majority of what they have us paying attention to, or steadfast in, is stuff that will break down, that will torment and pollute the heart. That's all it is, man. Our hearts are tainted with evil. That's all it is.
King Von's cousin, Balo, he didn't have the video removed, but he filed enough complaints against it to where it was age restricted, so Trap Lord Ross wasn't able to make any money off of it. And he had thought that he got it removed, and his reason for having it removed and going after the video was he felt like it was defamation of character. How do you feel about that?
Let's be honest. We gotta be honest. Y'all knew the work that Von was doing when he was doing it. Nobody told him to stop. When he was rapping, talking about the murders that he did, nobody told him that it was bad. Why? Because he was getting the money. Everybody dancing and singing songs about the people that was dying. And so now when a man come in and he exploit, and if he did his research and he got real truth, Why would you go and mess with? Because all it is the truth, and the way you live your life, whether it be good or bad, all your deeds will come to the light. And all Von's bad deeds is coming to the light. And his same family that was parading and happy when Durk was paying him, all Von did was do the same thing dude did, but just in a way where most people couldn't actually understand that all he was doing was talking about the murders he did in his songs. Like, let's be honest. And I'm not trying to be down on Balo. I ain't trying to get down on Von. I love them all, but the truth is the truth. And so it ain't defamation of character. It's who he was. It's the life he lived. It was what he was deceived into being, yes. But if you willing to let yourself be deceived, to take out your own people and then to mock your own people in the songs and in the writings, then whatever comes after that, you made that bed, right? So lay in it. If y'all allow for y'all said y'all love them, they act like they love them. To love somebody is to warn them before they die in the sin that they are currently partaking in. So if they loved Von, not saying that we think we know what love is, but love ain't watching somebody just self-destruct. Von self-destructed and I know him personally when he came down here. And I was just like, I don't even know how I'm sitting in front of your face and you are, kind of like in this route where you're getting all this money. And I'm just like, man, God got so much grace over your life, dude. The things that he's done, that I know he did, the grace that God was extending to him, he could not see God steady. The reason when the first couple of bodies and he beat those cases and because God know the light and he know the heart that he was doing it for the wrong reasons, but the heart was in his mind was, he had to, in the right area, which is, if you love your people, die for your people. We're just deceived into dying for our peoples in vain in a wicked way, which none of us are actually benefiting. Our people nobody's benefiting off King Von. His family probably benefiting off the money, but spiritually, look at his little brother. Look at his little brother, where he lining up to go next. This is deep. This is very deep. But no defamation of character, anything like that, I would say.
He removed some of the parts that YouTube had a problem with and re-uploaded it, and it already has, last I checked, like 1 million views in like 2 days.
Damn.
It's crazy.
For real?
For real.
Man.
That's crazy. And
that's wild.
And it had 750,000 before it got strike the first time.
Wow.
So this is definitely something that people are tuning in for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
do you think about that?
In the Bible it says, and this is the condemnation. And the condemnation means this is what condemns most men to die to death, not to die the physical death, Cam. We already condemned to die that death from Adam and Eve. When we born, you're gonna die regardless. But this is the condemnation, that man love darkness rather than light. And what that is that darkness that they portraying in this video about Von, everybody gonna click and watch. But if you just was to put a bunch of good titles and, you feel me, to even get the eye of the people, what we gotta do, Cam? We gotta put negative titles. We gotta talk about the destruction of a people for people to even click on there. If we put something that is rooted in good or righteousness, people ain't trying to hear that. And we should all think like, man, why is that? And think about the TV, think about the television. Well, we grew up, we grew up glorifying Al Capones. We been glorifying gangsters. We grew up glorifying Gucci, glorifying the rappers and it's like, we always end up glorifying the people who they want us to glorify. And then we become like what we glorify, and nobody is able to see that it's the reason behind the glorification of what these people keep putting in our faces, why we do what we do. But I think that, man, that shows that man love darkness, Cam. We love it. And the sad part about it is, like, if you black, why are you happy when at any point in time you can't even walk to the store without worrying about somebody that look exactly like you trying to kill? They not gonna walk up to you, Cam, and they gonna let you slide by. Cam, the cameraman that's sitting right, y'all not gonna get no heat, but if they see me, oh, there you go. We looking for ourselves, to kill ourselves, and they taught us this through all the music, through all the entertainment. We highly dysfunctional, man. Highly dysfunctional. And I'm not saying this from a place of hate. I love everybody. But in order for us to walk into light, we gotta see that we've been living in darkness. And that's why the results is King Von's and the world like why do we know King? Why did he ever get famous? How is a person that lived a life like that? Why is they promoting him to us? Man love darkness rather than light.
In our last interview, we kind of touched on Duck's mom saying there would be more arrests made for the murder of her son. And just a few days ago, that happened. THF was allegedly spotted Duck downtown and called the dudes from O Block. You know, he's been charged with conspiracy to commit murder. You know, what'd you think when you seen that news?
Man, when I seen that, I mean, obviously it made sense because who gave up the call? But all I saw in that was that, man, I know that man wished that he could have went back. And then I also seen how many times they shot Duck, man. And I just got a major remorse for Duck, for his mama, for what, you know, for us, because that's all our brothers. Whether your mom may have to have him, Cam, that's still your brother. We all got one father who overrides it all. That's the God, and we losing our brothers. Whether you look like him or not, that's our brother, all of us. And we've been tricked to thinking that because somebody look like you or they come from a different background that we ain't family. Or you weren't born in this, that we ain't blood, bro. We all family. And so it's sad, man, because it's just live, bro. How many people is that? 6 people? That's
6 people.
6 people. And then you add Duck, that's 7. Lives that is capable of doing anything that the Most High will, like, you know, capable of greatness. We all capable of greatness. You feel me? In many different areas. But it's just heartbreaking that, because like it's just so much death that like we so desensitized to it that people, it ain't hitting hard, Cam. It's not hitting hard. It ain't hitting hard, man. But I hope that all of them, that they can see that God is still extending their hand to them. Cause y'all still alive. Y'all got his anointing in y'all lungs, so you can ask for forgiveness. King Von, FBG Ducks, all of them that's gone, they gone. Ain't no more repent. Duck can't ask for forgiveness. So even in that, I hope that they can see that God still has grace over them. And what is grace? Is giving forgiveness to people who it ain't worthy of your forgiveness. And that's just what it is, but it's sad, man. It's terrible. Man, 7 lives, 1 moment that probably lasted a couple minutes.
Well, a lot of people believe that somebody is actually cooperating, and that's how they're getting a lot of their information. You know, I mean, they do have the dude on surveillance. You know, supposedly they got him on camera. He's in the Montclair store making the call. And, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people still believe. I mean, I guess there was some FBI documents where there is somebody snitching, but it's not somebody directly in the circle that's snitching. Yeah. You know, what do you think about that?
Man, Cam, if somebody is able to monetize or able to keep their freedom to tell on them, and then nobody know you doing it, man, people gonna sing like a canary. If they come lock you up, they know people, the greatest thing a man has is his freedom. So if I come mess with your freedom, why you think, man, a lot of why I stopped was because I didn't want my freedom to be taken away from me. You know, it wasn't the main thing because I ain't care about living or dying, and I wasn't gonna get caught in that, so I was gonna go out dying anyway. But man, when you put somebody freedom, when they battling with that, man, a man to do anything. Them bars, that jail cell, man love to fulfill the desires of the flesh. Locked up, you ain't fulfilling no desires. Ain't no more smoking, drinking, partying, fornicating, getting to look at your loved ones. And many of them, whoever they got, they must got something. And people be telling me, people keep thinking that it's me. No, I ain't cooperating with no, bro. They can't, nigga, they can't get nothing out of me versus like snitching on people, because regardless, niggas snitch on themselves anyway, just to be quite frank. So really, it wouldn't be no reason for niggas to snitch. But like, man, somebody's monetizing off of it. And do I think that it's wrong? Nope. Because what's happening is more wrong than the dude that's telling the truth. Why ain't nobody mad at the people that did it? Y'all mad at the dude who's telling the truth? That's darkness. Don't tell. No, some of us need to be locked up. Some of us, our freedom need to be taken away from us, because all we doing is living to cause chaos, strife, fighting with the fists of the wicked. That's all we doing. So some of them, like the five, like, you know, who did that with man, I know them. Some of them, I say, like, man, I wish that they could have, but some of them, they need to be locked up, because all it was going to be was more. Come on. I'd rather a few be locked up to save the rest of the lives that's going to get tainted for looking at these people and thinking that this is okay. Because for a shorty in the hood, Cam, what's our hope? Our hope is in what we see daily. Our hope is in those dudes that grow up in the hood, and we whatever we can find hope. So if they come around with money, cars, our hope is in seeing those things. And then how do we get to getting those things? Selling drugs, putting our people down, lifting us up, robbing, stealing, killing. This is our hope. And so again, yeah, a few, man, it's always, man, hey, the sacrifice of few for the whole, why not? Why not? If all that few gonna do is pollute and taint the rest of the whole, get them up out of here. We gotta get them up out of here. So whoever's doing it, man, more power to you. And one thing I gotta say about the whole snitch thing, hey, Caucasian brothers, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I love, we all the same. But I just want to say this. I don't know if anybody ever heard my poem. I'm not going to say the whole one here, but I said in white neighborhoods, and listen to this, Cam, because y'all know it to be true. I said white neighborhoods got neighborhood watch. But black neighborhoods, they got shh. You a bitch, you a snitch if you run and tell the cops. That's not, something's wrong. That's not adding up. That's not adding up. In our hood, we rather not speak truth and keep letting our people get hurt. But in other people's society where they atmospheres, oh no, don't bring that here. And if you bring that here, oh, we got people that's, oh yeah, we're gonna tell. And they're not gonna get talked about. Nobody gonna talk about them. Ain't nobody people gonna be clapping for them. Because what did they see that they did? They got one of the wicked off the streets. But in the black community, it ain't like that. And it's the spiritual wars, how they been paying us. It's what these TV shows continuously showing us. It's nobody love us, man.
A few months ago, I interviewed Trence's News for the first time. And I seen you had quite a few things to say about the interview. You said that some of the things that he said weren't accurate, and you had a problem with some of the things, man. Can you kind of break down, you know, what your general thoughts and everything were?
Man, one, Cam, you made that man a star. I don't know if you know, but that nigga, after that interview, he skyrocketed, and I'm happy for him financially. You know, because, man, every man, you know, it's hard. We need money. It's hard. But for what he is doing, Cam, destructive. And before we get directly into it, I'm just going to say, and I got love for Trence's News. I hope that one day he uses his platform for good. You know, one day, because we all have been there. You see the money, you see the clout, you see the numbers, and we get lost into what's rejuvenating those things and not knowing the spiritual, confusion, the spiritual wickedness that he's doing. And so what is it I wanted to talk about before that? I want to say him going around on all the blocks. Ask yourself this, for y'all who call yourself gang, savages, whatever y'all want to say. Can any man be known on O Block, STL, all these different hoods and be okay? And have stories with everybody and be okay? And I'm not trying to put Trenches News down, but the truth is the truth. Unless they are a drunk. We know many drunk people that could probably do it. And even then, niggas gonna stop like, no, because a drunk person, I could pay this drunk person to watch out, you feel me, to scope out and do this and do that. And so really, niggas not even gonna trust a drunk person. And so what makes y'all believe that this man got all these stories on they side? I'm talking about Cam, stories that you got shot twice in your head and you was running and jumping in cars. Man, delusion. It's the highest form of delusion. And before we get directly solely into it, what do I benefit of saying that his stories ain't true if they are true? If all I get out here was I would be like, yeah, it's true if I had any recollection of what he's talking about. But Cam, man, I promise y'all, all the man is doing is lying, and he got he got the gift of gab, so he got these stories that he could just go on and on and on and on and on right as soon as the camera started rolling. Man, but he's lying. All these stories, what? I saw the man said that King Von and Chief Keef was robbing houses on the 4th of July. And I don't know how many. Do you remember how many houses did he say he hit?
It was quite a few. It was like I think it was like more than 20.
And I don't mean to laugh at him, but this is the spiritual war through covetousness.
So are you saying that it never happened, or are you saying that they never robbed that many houses at one time?
We broke into a few houses, yeah. But the way he's painting it, never. And then because everybody stay on the block, you're gonna end up robbing one of the guys. Everybody stay on the block, you're gonna rob one of the guys if you hit 20 cribs. So again, I'm not gonna say that they might have didn't go in a few houses, but on a day of the parade, it wasn't even the 4th, it was the day of the Bud Billiken parade. That's what he said. Man, don't nobody even go to the Bud Billiken parade. Niggas is on the block. We was gang members. Niggas, people, moms, nobody was going to the Bud Billiken parade like that, bro. So 20-something houses, to think that these people would go and rob 20-something houses just shows you how through covetousness, covetousness is the wants. Wanting extra followers, wanting money. He making merchandise out of the people that's viewing him, man. That's why they need to open up their book and see how evil actually operates. And man, wickedness is truly operating in him because his stories is full of lies. They're full of destruction. He comes to people as a sheep or as a wolf, but in sheep's clothing, and people not able to see the destruction in his video. They not able to see the lion spirit in him because they just want the entertainment. That's what they thinking he's presenting. That's all they want.
Is there any other stories specifically that you had a problem with?
Any story? Man, to be honest with you, everything he said I had a problem with. Just honestly, like from all of what I heard, and I know they're gonna say, how you had a problem with this? The story of him getting shot twice in the head, I thought was crazy. I thought that story was wild. Never heard about him ever getting, and if he did, I don't know, but I never heard, and again, I don't really know him. None of us know him. That's what I want the viewers to know. I'm not putting hate on this man's name because like after Cam, you put him on your platform that he got more followers. I'm not throwing shade at that man for that. I'm giving y'all truth so y'all can understand that, man, hey, if you want to be entertained by all these little lost stories, then be my guest. But y'all might want to inquire carefully, diligently about the war that's going on that everybody can't see, but everybody affected by. But man, I got a lot of, it's so much that I want to say, but I can't think about certain things that certain stories, but they all rooted in life. Look at them. Again, one thing I got to say it again. What man named, and when Cash came out and said that Trenches News was the store runner and a drunk, nobody believed. Because they don't want to believe it. They want to believe that the stories that he's coming out with is true stories. He was with D-Rose. Man, D-Rose them don't even play like that, bro. Von them, we didn't play like that. You gonna go on STL and then come over here and think that you cool? Stop it. If niggas would kill their own cousins, y'all don't think Trenches News are drunk? Excuse me, I'm not trying to put them down, but I'm saying, y'all don't think niggas wouldn't have been overly thirsty to do something to that man? If he really was who he said he was. If he really had all these stories with us, and we know everybody, we all know everybody. We knew who they hung out with. That's how they killing and doing all. They know everybody. We know everybody. Man, don't nobody know that man from around the way unless they know him from these videos. And now they'll make it seem like he's somebody because he got 70, 80,000 followers. And man is just, you know how man is. If you got a following, we love you. We'll follow you. We'll praise you because 80,000 people following him. He must be doing something right.
I seen his fans attacked you, came after you.
Man, overly came after me. Calling me, you know how they do, man. Calling me, you talking about my GoFundMe that I had. And and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed because my treasure's not here. My treasures is in heaven. So, man, I'm gonna go without. I'm not gonna. See, the reason why they like Trenches News Cam is that Trenches News is, again, when we have no hope, we put hope into darkness. And so people got aspirations to maybe one day having a podcast where they could just talk about the death of people and they ain't got no true solutions to it, but other than put the guns down. There ain't no solutions. That's vanity. Ain't nobody putting no guns down because you say put guns down. You got to talk some real spiritual food into somebody to make them think about the life that they living. But many people, they gonna side with Trenches News because Trenches News ain't gonna tell you that y'all are actually fueling the fire to Block. Y'all are actually helping us, kill out each other because niggas is not only like living a lifestyle, but now we go into the song. Now everybody got a desire and a want to go and rap about the same murders that they doing, the same robbings, the same killings. They rapping about it. And so now your life is gonna be like King Von's. That's what a lot of people's life shaping up to be. To just be something to talk about and everybody monetizing off your name while you gone. Sad. Sad, but that's what people gonna do though, man. Whoever got the most money, whoever got the most following, the rich man. I gotta say it one more time. The Bible says that they took this part out of the Bible. When the rich man speaketh, what he said, first they hold their mouth, and what he said, they extol it to the clouds. But if a poor man like me speak, he said they all look around and say, who is this fella? And if I stumble, they all come together and try to overthrow me like they do every day. They say, oh, he lying. When I never lied. I might make a mistake. They can't pinpoint no lies that I came out here and lied, but they can pinpoint some mistakes. And they all try to get together to overthrow me. And that's something that y'all need to rewind that part back and think about that. Cause don't y'all, everything a rich man say, niggas ain't gonna question it. It gotta be true. He got millions of dollars. He got millions of fans. But if a poor man come out and say something, who is this fella? That's the Bible say that, not me. That's what the Bible say. That's why they don't want y'all reading it. They don't want y'all to be set free. They want you to say they want us all in his teeth, and many people in his teeth right now.
Well, I think one of the main stories that I don't think have ever been talked about from somebody from O Block or from your side of things that has been mentioned quite a few times, and I believe even Von mentioned in the song, did he get jumped on the bus?
Getting
like
jumped on the bus?
Everybody claims.
I heard that, you know, that Von did get jumped on the bus and whatnot. But man, during those times when Von was at Hyde Park, bro, it was a weird time. Cause I'm trying to remember, like, cause he stayed on the block for a minute, but then, you know, he moved off the block cause they, like, one of his gun cases, he got, like, they came and they kicked him out. They kicked him out of Parkway, so they had to move to the suburbs or wherever his mama moved to. But bro, honestly, it wasn't nothing that was highly talked about on the block. It might have happened, but like, and I was around Von all the time, so it's just hard that certain stories, like they say Butta beat him up. And I'm like, bro, I saw Butta get, like, man, and again, I'm not trying to beat Butta down or nothing like that, but like, bro, we was real close with Butta before everything got to where it was. And I seen Butta fight. I seen Von fight many a times. There was no, it ain't that it ain't no way, but like, man, I don't know. You know, just in terms of that, like, I don't know. And that fight that happened on the bus that everybody be talking about, man, I only heard about it through the internet. It wasn't nothing that we ever talked about on the block. And it would have been something that should have been talked about.
From what I heard, it wasn't just Butta. It was, you know what I'm saying? Just from the interviews. Yeah. I don't even want to say I heard. Just from the interviews, it was everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. You said you knew Butta. Yeah. Or you guys knew Butta. So how did you guys know Butta?
Well, Butta got a cousin named Keyshana. Keyshana lived on the block. And so that was Butta's entry point into being on the block. Anytime he was on the block, he was always at Keyshana house. And Keyshana was kind of like my first, we was young though, like, we was young. She's like my first girlfriend. It ain't last long. She's like my first girlfriend and whatnot. And man, you know, we just used to hang around Butta. He used to be on the block and, you know, Butta used to have all kind of guns and everything. And you know, and we was kind of like, it was weird because it was a point where we knew we was ops. Even like STL and O Block, they kind of knew, but it wasn't to the point it wasn't gunplay then. It was kind of more so like them fighting that diet, like BJ and all them, Dayon, pretty much fighting the older dudes from STL, Jaro. That stuff started pretty much at diet when they was all going to high school together, being on certain blocks. And so the younger ones, us being younger, obviously we followed right after them and joined in, but we was still cool with like the Buttas and the stuff like that. But yeah, man, Butta, his cousin, like Keyshana was the reason why he was on the block. And man, we used to be at parties together. It was one party, it was 600 and Butta, and they was together, Butta and 600, and we beat, and I'm not glorifying this filth, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that went on that many people don't know about. And we beat up Buka 6, was it Buka? Cause we called Lil D. We beat up 600 and we beat up Butta. You know, Butta was with 600 and it was like a whole thing that went on. We was in Keyshana party. I asked Butta about that the next time he come. And then, cause Butta wasn't scared. Nowhere near is this man scared though. Everybody else ran. We whooped them up. Who we caught? Beat them up. They ran. Butta was, cause his cousin stay on the block. Butta and Nuop, you know, Nuop, they fought one-on-one. He got whooped up. We let them fight one-on-one because that's Keyshana cousin. Keyshana mama had a loud mouth. Keyshana had a loud mouth. So they'd have started stabbing people if we'd have started trying to jump on Butta. And like we kind of, you know, it was Butta. Like, you know, before all of what happened now, like we had love for Butta. So we let him and Wop pretty much scrap it out and he got clinked up, bro, busted his lip up, beat him up all bad, all type of stuff. So, and that was one of the days that nobody bring up that day.
Take me through the Rumble. What all happened?
Well,
with you guys in 600 and Butta.
How it started, I don't remember how it started, but we was, you know how it is, man. Y'all on our block. I can't remember who or what the argument was over or anything like that, but I remember it's like, you know, right there at Keyshana part on 60, all the way at, it's like the building right before Von building. It's a little hole. It was a little hole in the gate right there. And man, that's kind of what I remember them running out of. Cause we'd have had them all caught up, beat up, but we didn't cause they ran so fast and they got their squads through the hole. Everybody knows that they know what I'm talking about. But it kind of went, somebody got into it. And so we don't care who get into it. If anybody fight, you remember when I talked about the King Von situation with him and with Lil Tim, Anytime one of the guys get to moving, everybody on go. Everybody move. It don't matter, man. You better hit somebody. If you don't know who they is, hit them. That's kind of like how things always revolve. And I was only bringing that old story in to say, cause like as soon as that we started fighting them, they ran. They ran right out of the front door. People running out of the gates. I remember not vaguely, I remember vividly Lil D getting caught and we beat Lil D up. Like that's Butta 600 brother. We beat him up cause he was kind of a little big at that point in time and he wasn't that fast. Everybody else that was from 600, I don't know if Tay was there or nothing like that, but if he was, they know they ran. And this, it was just a funny story because it was just fighting, but it's just to show how nigga Butta was with 600 them at one point in time. I can't remember the whole, all the details, but man, yeah, Butta was at the end of, that happened, and Butta and Nuki, Nuwop is what they call him now. His brother named Joey Boski, who he snitched on, he told on the dude who supposedly took White's life. That's who Nuwop is. Many people, they know who he is, but yeah, his brother, the one who lost the eye. And Nuki, he beat Butta up. Like they fought just straight one-on-one. We let him fight straight one-on-one, and he got brutalized.
And after this, I take it you and 600 fixed your problems. It wasn't no big deal?
Yeah, but that was not first. That wasn't the last time we fought them, though. We jumped on them again after, I think, I don't know if I said it on here, but the story of when Bud and them, when he was with Gyro City and we was running through the fields, they came out like the Warriors. We had a fight, an altercation with 600 right after that. Right after that time.
I don't think we've talked about that. Can you kind of take me through it?
All right, so it was a day, you feel me, we was looking for Butta, like I said. We looking for Butta. I can't remember why we was searching for this man so hard. Don't know why we was searching for Butta so hard, so tough and whatnot. But this was a point where, guns wasn't, gunplay wasn't really a thing. Everybody's fighting. And so we walking through all the neighborhoods, walking through Gyro City, walking through Eberhard. We went to Butta house, like he said. He came on y'all's and he said it. I don't know what interview I was on when we talked about it, but we went to Butta crib. He wasn't there. And we saw some dudes who they knew Butta. We didn't know they knew Butta. And somehow they got the word out to Butta that we was looking for him. So then they started looking for us. But it was just so happened that at the end of the day, we probably jumped on like 3 separate peoples. We jumped on a few people looking for Butta. And so at the end of the day, you feel me? We was like right down 63rd, about to go into the grass of where the building used to be at. They tore the building down, the 220 building, they tore it down. And again, man, it was like one dude, he came out, short, swole. He came out and we thought that we was just about to all really start getting it in. But again, he hit his fist together. I don't know if they had like a little rival call that like when I started speaking, I started doing this, y'all niggas come out. But when that nigga said, oh, we heard y'all was looking for Butta, he started hitting his hands together. We walking to him. I'm talking about, man, I know niggas wasn't really jumping off the roofs, but that's what it felt like. I'm talking about niggas was coming out all cuts. I'm talking about everywhere like the Warriors, for real. I always got to keep saying that every time I tell a story because what I remember niggas popping out the woodworks like the Warriors. It was nothing I ever seen before. And I'm looking at Lil folk, and I think his name was Nate. I'm looking at him, and I turn around to cause I'm thinking the guys, me, T-Roy, TP, we all standing right there. It's go time. I turn around, and it's only me, Tone, and T-Roy, really the ones who was about to fight, and everybody else we came with was running. And TP was like one of the last ones to run too, because I remember him running just a little bit, and then I ran past him, and they grabbed him. Like, see, I was fast, and I'm only laughing because it was just fighting. Then obviously it got worse, but man, the fight, everybody getting back up and walking home safe and sound from a fight. You feel me? But man, Butta, all them dudes came out, and they only caught TP. They made him, poop himself and all that stuff, cause they hit him in the head with a bottle. It's 50 people right there. They jumping on top of his head. But before they did that, it was like right before everything started happening, or was it? No, it was like right after. Inky D, Moo Moo, rest in peace to Moo Moo, rest in peace to his soul. That was the one he was out there with Sosa, and then somehow he ended up dying or life getting taken. Inky D, Moo Moo, and I think it was just them, or maybe it was one more. They were shaking hands with Gyro like right after they had beat TP up. They were shaking their hands. And so when they was beating up TP, we was kind of walking back up, and me, Troy, Tone, Jaquan, all us was watching them niggas shake their hand. And so when they was done beating TP up, Inky D and Muwop, they came back to the block. Not Muwop, but Moo Moo. They came back to the block like everything was cool. And then one of the guys was like, man, them niggas was shaking their hands, Wop the Bam. And so we started getting down on them. And then from them, us fighting them, it was a whole nother thing, because Moo Moo and Inky D, they had a brother, I can't remember his name, but he was one of them fighters. Not a shoot, but he was one of them Carl. Yeah, because I think Lil Carl was with them. We beat up Lil Carl too, probably. And there was Big Carl. This some dudes from Front Street where Fredo Santana from. And boy, so it was like after we whooped them up and whatnot, Joey and them, they had like this whole, it was all fighting though. It was all fighting, but that was just a little crazy moment that like 600, they was kind of like with them shaking their hands after they beat bro up. So we like, did y'all niggas set us up? When really when we thinking back on it, they couldn't have set us up because they wasn't with us. But they ended up being in the same place at the same time as we was, and they were supposed to be our homies, and they didn't help us fight them, but they were shaking their hands. So when they came back on the block, it's like, nigga, no, y'all go walk with them. Why y'all on my block? Y'all shaking them niggas' hand while we got beat up, so we beat them up. Yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy.
Damn, okay.
It was crazy.
Were you ever around when Wooski was there?
Yeah, man, that's me and Wooski fought.
You and Wooski got in a fight?
Yes, we fought. We was kids. He threw a ball. My nephew was just being born. My nephew's 17 years old now, so this was 17 years ago. 17 years ago in the summer. My nephew's probably a couple weeks old. Wooski was he was bad. That dude, all of us was bad, but he was a different bad. Like, Shorty was crazy, for real. Like, kind of like he's still crazy today. I remember him throwing a ball up at my window. And, like, I'm a lover, like, man. And my nephew just got there. I'm going to die for my family, but I still was a kid anyway. I just remember, like, the screen. The screen ain't even probably weighed 2 pounds. Not even a pound, actually. And it fell on my nephew crate, and I was angry, bro. I went outside, bro, and me and Wooski was fighting for, like, 30 minutes. Then the nigga's throwing rocks at my crib. He's throwing rocks at my house just to get me to come out to fight him. That's how crazy he was.
Why do he want to fight you?
Man, I don't know. People used to just try to bully people. I was staying on the quiet end. Wooski stayed on the ghetto end. That's kind of how it is. You got the church end, and then you got the end where everybody, I eventually moved down there, and then I became a part of them. But like, I don't know if I told, they used to, if you stayed on the church end, and they was always they was chasing them home from school. It was like, you ain't even stay on the block if you didn't stay on that. That just shows you the dysfunction. You could just be on the same block, paying the same rent, and if you didn't stay down there, nigga, it was a separation even from us. They used to stay, man. They used to stay having Boogie, Wanye, because these was my friends. I knew them over there because I stayed in their end. Man, they used, whooping us up. Well, they ain't whoop me up because I ain't get caught. Niggas used to be running from the guys before you got big enough to fight. You feel me? Because we was like 8 and 9. We was real life kids, but everybody was still getting jumped on. And so Wooski was probably just doing that, man. I remember one time I walked to the other end before. Crazy. It was a girl. I can't think of her name now, but y'all, they know the girl I'm talking about. They know the girl I'm talking about. And she saw me. This was like one of my first times walking down here, like, you feel me, on my own. And she was like, ain't you from the other end? Ooh, I'm finna go tell the guys. I got right out of there because that's how crazy it was. That real life, Cam, you would get beat up if you wasn't from the other end. Obviously, when we got older and niggas started to know you, everybody got close. But when we was kids, man, it was crazy, boy. The church end was separated from the ghetto end, and then, boy, the ghetto end was really ghetto. It looked like a ghetto. The church end was clean. Wasn't nothing in the grass. It was grass. On their end, wasn't no grass. It was like niggas out there pulling up the weeds in the grass. Windows windows busted out on the church end. You don't want to really too much go down there because the security gonna be on you as soon as you go down there. But they was kind of used to it on the ghetto end. That's just kind of what it was. You got the church park end, and then you got the ghetto end.
Wooski living in O Block, and you guys knew him and everything. At one point, he moves out of O Block?
Did.
Or does something happen that makes him have to leave O Block?
Nah, nothing happened. They just moved. Wasn't nothing specifically that I could pinpoint that I ever heard. And it was weird though, cause like they was there one day, all him, Wooski, Sawu, they all Lasky. I remember Lasky. That's another one of Rooski. I wonder what kind of names they got. It's just cause all the Lasky, the Wooskis, and that's their actual names, I believe. If not, maybe, I don't know, but I know Sawu, that's his Wooski real name, Sawu. But yeah, man, I think it was just, people moving off the block, just moving something. But they moved. I think that they might have moved like a few blocks away. So they probably should have just stayed, but I don't know.
Okay, I seen you had some things to say about Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
So what all's going on with that? And you know what I'm saying? What did you see that you didn't really like?
He got an upside, not only, before we get to the cross, years ago, I think maybe 2018, 2020, can't remember. Lil Uzi was doing a concert, and in that concert, he told everybody that was at the concert, yeah, the rapture is happening right now, and we all going to hell. And he was saying like, I'm going to hell, yeah, but y'all going with me because y'all listening to my songs, y'all steady singing my song over and over and over and over. And the sad part about that was that nobody, like people must have just thought that it was all entertainment. People just thought that it was just all words. And so the last thing that Lil Uzi did that I commented on, he got an upside down cross painted on tattooed on his tongue. That should show who these people. And one thing before we get Lil Uzi gonna hang with a lot of famous people, right? And the Bible says, listen to this, can two walk together, least they be agreed. And if we kind of questionable on that, Cam, are you gonna hang with anybody who you don't like or y'all ain't agreeing? Whether you agree, like y'all both got podcast, like you gotta, in order for you to be around somebody, y'all have to be in agreement with something. Me and Von, all of us was hanging around, loved each other, but what were we agree? Gang banging. That's why we hung out. The niggas who didn't gangbang, are they hanging with me, Von and all? No, because can two walk together, at least they be agreed? No. So we have to be in agreement for us to walk together. And I know they like, what you saying that for? Because I'm saying that not only Lil Uzi ain't the only one that's working for Satan, he's just the only one who don't care about the backlash. He the only one who is bold in the truth that he is living. Everybody else, they working for Satan. But if you ask them, do they work for him? They gonna say no. But your lifestyle and your work and what you do, you working for him. You could say no on your own, but can Lil Uzi be around all those people and they be around Lil Uzi unless they be agreed? No. But again, man, get an upside down cross painted on his tongue. And if he do a concert next week, do they think people not gonna go? Everybody still gonna go. This is the spiritual war.
He also got some backlash for one of his lyrics that came out recently. And the lyric was, I make a city girl believe in Satan.
Yeah, he made the city girls believe in Satan. Real life. He probably talking about JT. But the people, they forget how Satan operates, man. Satan was one of the most beautiful angels in heaven. He's not gonna come to you like how they paint him. He gonna come to you where you think that you are about to be able to skyrocket, your career gonna rocket. That's how he come to most people, man. Hey, you come work for me and you, like how he told Christ, all you gotta do is bow down to me and all this, what you see, it could be yours. The same thing he do to them. And so he starts shining the light on them. Everybody know him. This is how you know who's not only working for him, but agreed to work for him. They get a light shined on them. That's what illuminate. It's going to be a light shined on you so that, come on, the only way you get the world is if the world knows who you are. And in the book it says, if you were of the world would love you as their own. Don't they love these people? He said, Lil Uzi came out and he said, somebody asked him, they's like, man, I keep singing, I just want to rock, rock, rock. Like, why I keep singing this song? He straight up told him, oh, because it's hypnosis. Right after he told that person that the song is rooted in hypnosis, what the person that's just asked him that do? I just want to rock, rock. They just said, it just shows you the spiritual are. That they can tell you what they doing to you. And because the seed being planted on the soul that it can't, you feel me, can't be fruitful. Cause that's all they do. And where they say those Satan seeds, but people ain't able to listen and because it's our hearts are loving the same thing that hates us. That's why when a man told him that it's hypnosis, he ain't think nothing like the hypnosis. That's not no joke. That ain't nothing to play with. After you tell him, oh, my songs is rooted in hypnosis, they still listen to it. Nobody stops and thinks like, man, because it's hypnosis is the reason why I can't stay away from it. But right after he asked him that again, he just started singing the song, man. It's crazy. It just showed the spiritual word. For those who got eyes to see, they see. But for those who don't, they think it's okay.
051 Melly was a well-known person in the drill community. You know, do you have any stories or any thoughts about him growing up or anything?
Man, see, like I said, and a lot of things that I said before, we used to go over there on 051, me and Ocho. You know, Ocho Mana, I don't know if you know who that is, but he one of the rappers from O Block and whatnot. We used to go over there. We used to hang with the Melly and 051, Fathead, Pre-Boy. We used to be over there and, you know, again, it wasn't the worst of the worst. This was like kind of when 051 started to kind of like bring because they wasn't always around. But they came kind of around maybe my freshman year in high school, probably the year before that we started hearing about them. But I don't really got many stories with them. All I know is that at one point in time, they was like fans of what Sosa was doing. Cause I remember like, yeah, we was all kind of into it, but they was singing the songs that Sosa was singing and me and Ocho kind of like, yeah, he hard type deal. And then from there, it went ugly. And I think it has a lot to do with, Cam, is that every man can be evil. God said that all of our hearts desperately seek to be evil from a youth. So, but how great is that evil? And so, like, again, and you look at Chicago, if everybody them niggas think that they tough, we could kill niggas too. That's kind of where it go from. We could kill too. You think that we can't kill more niggas than y'all could kill? It kind of is a competition, you know, because we being man, we rooted in like competition and stuff like that.
How did killing become a competition in Chicago?
Man, it became a competition, bro. Niggas using hurt for an excuse to go take another life. And not understanding that, okay, we hurt, we take a life. So when they get hurt, what they gonna try to do? Take another life. So we not understanding that somebody just gotta get hurt and then say and forgive in order for all of us to forget. Because if don't nobody you forget and we all keep remembering that you took one, at one point it's gonna be you. At one point it could have been me. You feel what I'm saying? So, and people don't be thinking about that. Just as easy as your friends are getting their life taken, that can be you. When God stretch out his hand and it ain't you and it is one of your friends, you gotta be able to look at that death and be like, that could have been me because it could have been you. Many times, bro, when OD them and all that stuff happened, I was already out there. When Toon got killed and all that, I was out there. That could have been me. And I saw God reaching his hand forward. So that's why I speak how I speak now. I see all the confusion and all the dysfunction, how they want us all to hate each other. He likes division. He conquers through us being divided. If black people, white people, all people get together, what power he got over us when he already don't even have no power over you other than the power you allow for him to have? When we sin, that gives him power. Who keeps us in sin? This music, they keeping these women in promiscuity, keep us in fornication. It's so much, it's so deep.
To stay on that topic about it being a competition, you know, a lot of people would probably brag about how many bodies they got.
Brag.
You know, so at one point that wasn't a thing. Like, do you know like where that came from or how that actually got to that point?
Social media. Social media was one of them ways where, you know, killers get glorified. I don't know. It gotta be what God said, that's the condemnation, that man love darkness rather than light, that we would glorify, that we would love niggas who doing stuff like that. Even the dudes that sell drugs. I mean, my mom on crack. You feel me? They selling crack to my mom on drugs, and we glorifying the dudes that sell drugs. But it's the darkness, and I think that it had a lot, for us, it was social media. It was social media. We used to argue, come on, Camp, this is how Satan get us. The moment we come out on the block from a young age, this how he be. This is how he get you to want to lay down yourself and pollute your body with the women. If you a virgin and the older dude, because I remember, like it was yesterday, coming out, never having sex, and everybody, you a virgin? You get called names. You get picked on. You a punk. You a sissy. Oh, he might be gay. He don't want to pick up this iron. He don't want to lay down with this. And so nobody wants to feel left out. So everybody include themselves in wickedness. So now I'm about to be on the hunt for just looking for the girls to have sex with because everybody talking about me. So it could be that we put down, and that's what the Bible says. It said, and then there was light, and darkness comprehended it not. And the Most High say, a fool scoff at what they don't know. And so if they come out, they see you not having sex, doing all that, they look at him like, well, he think he is. They can't comprehend why you not running with us, why you ain't giving your life over the gangs with us. Because the darkness can't comprehend real light. That's why when I speak words of wisdom, everybody who come on your page, they looking for gangster talk. They looking for all that. But when I start talking like this, they like, what is this nigga talking about? Because darkness cannot comprehend light. And I'm not talking about the false light that many of us are rooting who we want to be in, which you think that making a rapper and nigga, if you a rapper and you rapping about the destruction of black people, that's evil. But that's the light that people are leaning more towards because the world tells you that you somebody if you do this stuff. So a lot of it, I believe it got to do with how we being treated on our, in our environments. We do stuff for the appraisal of man, for the yes and for the okaying of man. We don't do it, and we don't care about what God see, what he watching. We care about what man see because that's who we see. We don't think about God because we don't see him. We're thinking about what we see and who we see.
Well, since our last interview, NBA Youngboy did an interview. And in this interview, he expressed a lot of regret about the things he spoke about and put into people's ear. He also mentioned feeling like a lot of people were playing his music while they were out there putting in work. What do you think when you see or hear something like that?
It shows that behind their music is demonic forces. Behind their music is spiritual things, like attaching itself on you. For what? When something spiritual get attached onto you, it do what? It's gonna make manifest the sin that you allowed it in, and now you out there gunplay. Now you out there robbing. But it just shows you that, some of them that they know what they doing. And not everybody, but some can truthfully look at how everybody, cause he know who he is. He knows that, the image of who he is rooted in pretty much, it ain't got nothing to do with positivity. And so if you just think about it, think about like, man, my music ain't really rooted in positivity, but all these kids is following it. And then so you like, if my music is negative and all these kids are following my negativity, if they die and if they commit a murder, like, is that on me? And that's something that a wise man would think, like, man, is this stuff falling off on my hands? Or cause, people will they gonna try to push it off like, it can't be on me, it's on their parents. That's what the evil spirit's gonna just, I saw this quote the other day, and it said, when you listening, you think that you're thinking, but you're actually hearing. And it's those spirits. You know how your girl could be out partying and you think that you thinking about, like you just get to thinking, right? And all these different things get thrown, you know, and all of them is rooted in bitterness. All of them is rooted in chaos. All of them is rooted in division. So we need to, like, without having the spirit of God in us, we can't discern righteous spirits from wicked spirits, righteous thoughts from wicked thoughts. And so kind of going back into the NBA Youngboy, you know, that whole avenue with him pretty much looking at the work, the body of work he did and how it's affecting people. Cause if you think about it, Youngboy or anybody else, when you was riding and sliding, was it ever a genre of music that you ain't going to listen to? So if these genre of musics can make us feel a certain way at heart, that should tell you that the music ain't music. But it's a device. It's a device that Satan is using. How many of y'all know that? Watch this, that Satan, what was his thing in heaven? He did music. Satan was the greatest musician ever that could possibly be, and one of the most beautiful. So it's no worldly coincidence, but it is a godly coincidence. But it's no worldly coincidence. And I just got to say that if you don't know what a godly coincidence is in the Bible, Christ, I rebuke those words. Christ met this dude and he was like, what's such a godly coincidence? And I was like, wait, hold up. Godly coincidence? And then after that, because I was lost, but God picked us up. He's like, yeah, a moment ordained by God. But Satan is a mocker. He's a liar. And so when we use coincidence in the world, we're like, oh, this ain't even supposed to happen. Because we don't know that. Oh, no, it's by God's grace, his divine hands and his touch that it did happen. But you know, again, man, many people don't understand that. But again, if you didn't, it shows you that music ain't for your entertainment, but it's to make you feel a certain way. It's to make you do a certain thing. You feel me? If people want to listen to get more closer with God, what they listen to? Listen to church music. They listen to, you know, something that ain't, because there's curses in those words. Life and death is kind of what it's showing you. People listen to people speak life into them when they want to get closer to God. And when they think they being entertained, you know, when they, you know, it's not that, it's so hard, man. It'd be so hard to talk about the spiritual stuff for real, because it's so like spiritual. It's not this, it's not flesh. It's what you can't see. But that spirit is the reason why this body is operating. And when this body dies, your spirit is set free. And many people don't know that you are condemned by what you allow this body to do, though.
Well, he says he promises to clean up what he can. You know, one of the things that kind of surprised me that he said in the interview, and he said he's terrified of people and very scared of people and very shy.
Those different spirits he got in him. He's scared and terrified of people because those same demonic spirits that dwell in him, he's putting curses on people, and those spirits torment him. Those same spirits those curses he put on, they torment him. You feel me? Those spirits will torment you because in their tormenting you, do he make songs full of hate? Make songs about the ops and roll out the bam and things like that. But I think it's scary. I think that even when I watched that, it seemed as though, like, man, it'd be so hard to see. Like, it seemed like they had these idols. They had them give a bit of truth just to mock the people. Just to show them like, oh, we know what we doing. Y'all don't. And so he clearly showed, and Youngboy showed everybody that his music is all evil. But man, I think that, man, you know, it's probably, you know, just one of Satan's tactics, man, to keep people scared. He just want to keep people scared. And if you scared of people, God said, this is our biggest fear. We scared of men. And God said, do not be fearful of men who can kill the body, but cannot kill spirit. He said, fear me. You know why to fear me? Because I could kill your body and I could kill your spirit. Man could just kill your body. That's nothing. Your body is set. If you live in a righteous life, if they kill your body, now you set free. But we scared to die because we think the greatest life is right here, and it's not. But right now is a time for everybody to see. God is just seeing who are you? Who are you? And that's why he letting Satan do what he does. Because he who is willing will let will. If you willing to go out there and kill and let those spirits get into you to kill, then God is willing. We got free will. He ain't hold nobody back because he wants to see if that's the greatest thing you could do, right? We was always taught that if you love somebody, let them go and see if they come back, right? That's what God did when he threw us into bodies. If they love me enough, my children, they gonna hear my voice and they gonna make their way back home. But many people, they go and they get lost into what Satan is doing. If Satan deceived a third of the angels out of heaven, a third of angels who are more powerful in might and in glory and in understanding than we, just simple men, how many more men can he deceive? And God told us 2/3. And when we say 2/3, don't look at 2/3 of the population right now, 2/3 of every man that ever lived. Cam, that leaves very few room for us to get into the heavens. That leaves very few room. If 2/3 of all mankind, God said only 1/3 will he refine and try as gold is tried. Only 1/3. That's deep. But if that seed is planted on a soil at which it cannot be fruitful, it ain't going. He said seeds are planted of God. But if you got your mind worried about worldly stuff, those worldly things will choke out that righteous seed and it will become of no fruit. And many people don't understand it. That's why the enemy is throwing darts at. He's trying to kill our foundation. So when God, because the heart is the foundation, like I said. So if I plant a Bible seed on that foundation and it's already tore up, can it bear fruit? No. So we need to go and ask God to give us that new heart, and he can. There's nothing too big, nothing too small for our God to do. He created a world at which many people, they get lost in it. That just shows you the divine creation in his hand, that this world is so beautiful and so evil at the same time. That many people live for the beauties, and he said that don't set your heart. He said, make sure not to have your heart on worldly treasures. Have your heart in heaven. He said, because wherever your heart is, have your treasure in heaven, not in the world. Because wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart will be. So if you got worldly treasure, come on, man, your heart gonna be in the world. If you think that this is the greatest, the richest is here, the best, richest, the best, your heart gonna be in the world and not with God. It's deep though, man.
Well, some of the things that's also happened is NBA Herm, when he went driving around like close to O Block. And then I also seen some dudes from O Block were over in NBA Youngboy's hood. You know, both of them just put it, I think they just put it on their story, kind of mocking each other.
That's sad.
You know, what'd you think? What do you think when you see stuff like that?
It's just like God said, to do evil, man got all knowledge, but to do good, they know no knowledge. That's just like, we got all knowledge to do good. I mean, to do evil, to do good, to help out somebody, you know, to speak against death. People don't got no knowledge. But all it shows is how we got an evil eye against our brother. It shows It shows that it ain't no real love for our people. That whole Black Lives Matter was just a scam. Because if Black Lives really mattered, Black people would be marching right now. The marching could never stop because we killing each other every day. But if a white cop do it, everybody around the world want to march. Nigga, march right now. But all it shows us is, man, this all we got is the curses of Deuteronomy. Is still in full effect, that Judah would go around having an evil eye against his brother. And that's all it shows is that, man, people are lost in darkness and they don't even care to, like, all they doing is building up so when they start locking people up, y'all gave them everything they needed already. Y'all was mocking each other, going back and forth. So they gonna go and grab somebody. If NBA Youngboy, they gonna go, who made a song about these people? Okay, we put them in the box. Okay, and so then who was over there and took up and drove up and rolled up, and because everything that get posted on Instagram, it stays on there. Anything that get uploaded to the internet, well, you might think it's deleted, but they can get it. And yeah, it's sad, man. It just shows the dysfunction that our people live in, man. And people just, bro, we all family. We all supposed to be family. Y'all getting caught up on the hoods. Y'all getting caught, bro. You could have easily been in O Block, easily been in Chicago. So that should just show us, like, man, we don't love each other, bro, how we say we do. We don't love each other, man. It just shows the hate we got for each other.
Well, Lil Durk made some headlines recently. And, you know, I don't know exactly what he's got going on, but he's got some issues with some dudes from your general area. You know, and what he said was, lawyer money to the guys who died from every block. I paid up they mama and paid funerals and bills, put kids in houses who everybody respect. OTF did this, go ask. That other cap, we ain't trying to hear it. You know, and then his next post, he said, I'm not saving nobody, don't call smirk.
Hey, crazy. That man, he the voice of Wicked for sure. It's just, nigga, who y'all help out? Vine people? Because I feel like Vine people, they get money from what Vine did. And if they not, then so where's Vine money going? We should ask Durk, because if you saying that that's your doing, that shouldn't that automatically be going to them unless you done did something weird when a man died and now the funds going to you, and so you gotta do how they did with the track. They had to go to O Block, and they always gotta publicize everything they do because it ain't for the heart. It's for us to think that they actually loving people. Man, if I love you, I'm not gonna bring no cameras. That's odd. I don't want no cameras to see that. This between me and you. This personal. This real love. Why I need somebody to know the love that I got for you? It ain't real if I need the world to see it. And then they don't read their Bible, and they said that also, the Bible literally says that what you do for men to see you, God don't see that. So you will not be rewarded for what you do only for men to see you, but give your gifts privately. And your Father who sees you openly will reward you openly. But do these things privately. But what I see in that is like, he's so big, so puffed up right now, but he wouldn't be nothing without going to these other hoods and grabbing rappers. Why Buka? You got all these other dudes from these, they not even from your hood. Vine not from your hood. We ain't grew up with you, dude. You don't know Vine. The fans can probably, they do know, bro, he don't know Vine. Well, no, come on, man. People be lost into the lies that the world, he don't even know us. Before him and Buka started hanging out and doing all that stuff, and he using him as an agenda and using him as one of those niggas from one of those ways to make it seem like Durk got love in all hoods. Yeah, a nigga will sign up and go and rap with Durk because they see the money, they see the women. Again, they coveting what he has. So they go and rap with him and whatnot. But like, man, we don't know, bruh. We don't know him like that. They probably gotten to know him, dude, from hanging around him all this time. But I feel like that's bogus shit, cause who you help out? And if you could give, if you gave one dude $50,000 and you know all he gonna do is blow it, did you help him or did you hurt him? So if you want to help somebody, Lil Durk, with all those, they just gave you 50 million, right? You just got 50 million. I know why you got 50 million. It's because of these deaths you putting in. You ain't made no albums, no songs, all this death, and then he randomly get 50 million. And so if you want to help somebody, instead of using your voice for darkness and for evil, create something that kids can actually have hope in and not have hope in you, in which is they see hope in Lil Durk, so they grow up trying to be like Lil Durk to get the things that they see Lil Durk got. But let's see you bring in do something for the homeless. Where the homeless facilities? Where's the facilities for the kids who don't have fathers and mothers? Now, I don't want to see no turkey. I mean, yes, do it, but not just a day thing like Christmas or a turkey drive, but give them real hope, because they can eat and have toys for one day, but what happens when that toy break? Or when that next day when there's no food on their plate? So if you got money and you really love, Where is the things that we can go to that you can put together with your money that actually gives us real hope for the next couple of years in our life? But dude, man, and again, if he keep playing that whole little route, man, this how the Most High work. He let evil take out evil. So he could keep playing that game, and then it's gonna be one of them dudes who evil, they gonna take him out. He gonna get took out. But you know, Satan, how Satan is Lil Durk bringing a lot of people to Satan's kingdom. He's one of his most prized gatekeepers right now. Most prized. Not only is he bringing people from the music, but how many people died from hanging with him? I'm talking about people dying in car accidents. People just getting killed out of the blue. And the only one still standing is him. He getting people to sign their life over. Von said he's signing blood. But when people hear that, they just like, oh no, he just probably saying that it's heart, sweat, blood. No. He said his manager made him sign in blood. Who gonna say that if they really ain't signing in blood? Niggas come from the hood. He ain't finna speak something spiritual over something like that. Cause the niggas, all we know is what we see, what we hear. Nigga, he gonna speak exactly what he did. And he said that I signed in blood for this. My manager want me to say, oh, there's a whole phone call with him and Asian dog. And she started to sound like a person who knew what was going on. She started to sound put off at ease because she signed her name in blood too. All these people know what's going on. But they keep the truth from us because what is Satan doing? Not only is they scared of Satan, they don't want to die. They scared. He got them living in fear, torment. Man, God could save you, but don't live in fear. Satan don't got no power over y'all. Satan had no power over you than what you give him. And if you scared to lose your life, then that means the fear of God ain't in you and you might want to start to do it today. Don't delay your coming to Christ. It's blessings, it's gifts that has no strings attached with your soul laying in the balance. We need to go for the real, you know, from the one God who loves. Satan don't love these people, but yeah, he'll give you a lot of money for you to think that it is. That's what love is. But man, Lil Durk is an evil person. Evil.
Did you ever see Lil Durk and meet Lil Durk in O-Block?
I met him when I seen him on a block. I say, and I've been on a block my whole life. For real. Lil Durk came over on the block like twice. He came over on the block like 2 times. And this one, when he started like really getting the little clout, the little fame and whatnot. And then I saw him again. He was at one of my freshman basketball games at Harlan when he had his dreads and whatnot. And then other than that, you know, I was out there with him. I was out here with him twice. You know, when Von did the concerts out here, I told them a story about the $50 and all that. And everybody was laughing at me and they thinking that I even asked the man for the money. You feel me? Von asked him and he said no to his own homie, just showing how really, this is weird, bro. It's weird. But my few, and then we kind of like, that was the first time.
What happened with that?
The first time?
Yeah.
We was about to get ready to go to the concert, and I had on like some trues of paper. Man, I'm not these dudes. I don't sell drugs. I'm not finna do no things like that to go out my way to be looking all fresh and clean and sharp. Like, I'm just not one of those niggas. You feel me? I ain't got it like that. And so Von wanted me to have some different clothes on. He like, bro, hood niggas don't wear pants like this no more, bro. We wear tight stuff. And I'm like, I ain't got no tight money, nigga. My money tight. So then I wear what I can wear. You feel me? Money tight. You feel me? And so Durk walked in, the man got a rack. I'm talking about crazy money. And Von like, hey, bro, let me get $50. I'm about to go take hood to the mall to get folks some new clothes and whatnot. That nigga whispered, he said, on my life, I lay down my life right now. Like, and not for him, but for the truth. I die about real truth, like real truth. And so he straight whispered to him, man, I don't know that nigga. $50 that Von said he was gonna give him back. Not that he was just, nigga, he had a rack. Do you hear what I'm saying? He rich, millionaire. And 50, and then what? It was a dude sitting on a bed. And Von was like, man, this nigga, he's like, man, Durk a hoe. Hey, bro, let me get $50 real quick, twin. And folks instantly, I said, I got you back. He ain't look no straight in his pocket. And he ain't got nowhere near his, he probably only got money because of Lil Durk. And what he do though? So that's why when Durk said in that song, I'm really Pooh, you know I'm really shiesty. That hit me so hard because I really felt that man was really shiesty. I'm like, and really, I ain't say nothing because I ain't want him to even know that I even heard him say that. Come on, like, niggas don't want to be embarrassed like that. Like, everybody know who Lil Durk is, you feel me? Everybody, you know, I love, if I was a fan of his music until I started understanding the spiritual backlash from this music. And man, so yeah, I just look back at that today, man, and that's just like weird, bro. It was $50 when you probably had 10,000 on you and you was gonna get it back. But that just shows what people heart really be at. Durk ain't gonna give nobody no money that ain't gonna produce money for him. Bet you, because he talking about that he paying to help it. I bet you he ain't gave. I don't care about what you do for your family. God said love is doing for those who ain't in your family. What will you do for somebody that don't love you is love. That's the ultimate love, doing for those who hate you or don't even know you. So, but again, I bet he ain't did nothing for nobody who he cannot generate some money through. Bet that.
Well, XXXTentacion's alleged killers were convicted of his murder. And, you know, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. That case shows you, and before we go all into it, if the Bible says this, the judges judge. Please pay attention to this. The judges that govern over this, they judge for a reward. Y'all got that down, right? The judges judge for a reward. Those dudes that got convicted, somebody paid them. And it's crazy because I didn't even know that Drake had nothing to do with this. And then when they start putting all the truth behind it, and then you hear Drake's song, 666, something, that's the only time we shoot below the neck. And that man got hit. And then it was so crazy to me to hear all these lyrics that Drake had in a song pertaining to 666. I mean, I'm talking about 666, XXX, whatever, you know. And I thought it was so crazy. But again, it goes back to what I just said. He got the money. He's good. Man, if you got that money for the judges, we already know you could get bonded out for anything you could do. If you got the money to pay to get out of that, they gonna judge for that reward versus judging for truth. Because Drake's supposed to be locked up right now. He mocked that man. Not only did he mock him, in his songs, he showed clear-cut, frankly, who he was into it with. And then after he died, he showed those same things. And look what's happening.
Hold on. Break that. Can you break that down for me about Drake? The whole Drake thing.
Oh, you talking about how the Drake, he got songs. Like, I don't know if everybody don't know.
He got songs referring to the 6, which he calls, I believe it represents Toronto. But no, I was talking about how he was, you were saying something about the XXXTentacion murder though.
Yeah, he got songs directly, the lyrics point directly to what they did to him. Literally, one of the things was, it was something over and over and over. And I'm upset. 30,000 on my head, that's disrespect. And in that song, he said something, that's the only way we shoot below the neck. He was talking about the XXXTentacion. Because if you go and look, he never got hit nothing up here. He got shot so deep down that niggas was looking at the video and like, is he even shot? Because you couldn't see nothing. And that was just the one that I could vividly remember right now because Drake was on trial. When they was on trial, Drake was on trial, but Drake never had to show up. Why? Because Drake got money. Drake heavily plugged in with evil. And so, man, I don't know all the major details, but I know it's somebody out there that got the YouTube videos where you could go and see all the things that Drake said basically pertaining to that murder. And they wanted Drake to come on trial so bad. They wanted him on trial. I saw a few videos that they was asking for Drake to be subpoenaed as not a witness or just somebody that they was trying to subpoena him to get them to trial for them to basically question him and stuff like that. But he got money. So what happened? Them judges, what? He probably paid a couple mil, 50 mil, 30, probably not 50, but he gave them some money. And that's why they ain't bring his name up the way they should have, because Drake was the one who paid them boys. Them boys got paid.
John Morant has been in the news a lot lately. He's been making a lot of headlines. You know, he's been accused of beating kids up, and you know, the one thing that really kind of got him in trouble was he flashed what appeared to be a gun on Instagram Live, and you know, it caused him to get suspended. You know, and when this happens, you know, a lot of people were like kind of coming down on him, saying, you know, he's blowing his chance and he has all these blessings, and you know, he could really be doing a lot better for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole situation, like, it just shows you how darkness, how that image is so loved that a basketball player want to be seen as a thug. That just shows you that the spiritual war right now is so heavily, it's because, you know, us, we just want to feel accepted. We just want to feel loved. We just want to feel like we are a part of something. And sadly, everybody, no matter how evil it is, the world is okaying it. They not shaming it. So everybody wanting to go over into that route and make it seem like they some type of thug. Nigga, you play basketball, bro. You play ball. And I'm not saying that dudes don't be gangbanging and still playing, but you know the ones that don't be making it. The dudes that's really living that street life, there's a few. I know, I highly recruited football player, number 7th in the country overall for the FCS. And I know kind of the questions that go into those interviews when you really finna start messing around with millions of dollars, the cryptic, those crazy, chaotic questions they ask. Niggas from the hood, a lot of them ain't really making it like that. It's a few, yeah, they gonna make it through because the talent gonna override all that, so they need you and whatnot. But again, to go back to just the whole image of what he's putting up, it just shows you how, like, it just shows you, bro, like, people would do anything to look cool. When you already look, and I don't want to go too deep, but John Morant, that same spirit that Kobe Bryant had, when everybody gonna Kobe Bryant, they gonna get angry over me, but I'm telling you, go look at Kobe Bryant's go look at his commercials before he died and see the demonic. So when saying come to collect, that's all. Go see, I promise, don't. Those commercials before he died, they started showing him his eye, one eye covered. Come on, they rooted in symbolism. Kobe Bryant his symbol was a snake. It's the same Black Mamba snake that go look at Ja Morant, his symbol for his shoe. Go look at Kobe Bryant's symbol for his shoe. Ja Morant take upon that same spirit that Kobe Bryant did. I don't know if he incantated it into him, did a spiritual incantation. And then I look at how that man play ball. I'm a hooper. I could do all, but like, man, some of the things that he do is no man should be able to do. And I know people gonna be like, no, bro, I'm telling you, it don't matter. Satan is everywhere. Look at LeBron James. And look at the movie, the last movie that LeBron James just put out, the House Party movie. They was talking about, did you see it?
I haven't seen it.
So in the movie, you know House Party. Have you seen any house parties?
Yeah, I seen, I believe, the first 3.
Exactly. And so in the House Party, that's just all a straight funny movie, supposed to be just straight entertainment, fun, or whatever you want to think. And so LeBron remakes House Party. But he got Kid Cudi in there. And what is Kid Cudi talking about? Oh, this is the Illuminati. They playing, acting like it wasn't, they was mocking it. They just trying to desensitize us to it, to play with it. So that way, when you hear somebody speaking on the Illuminati, you really not thinking about it. But he was going all into that. He literally had, the dude, the Emmett and the other dude, Kid Cudi ended up taking them to a secret society party. And when you go there, what's happening? It's 2 dudes fighting to death. And this is what LeBron James is putting in his movies. And I'm thinking about, this is a house party movie. This is supposed to just be about a house party. Why? And none of the house party movies ever broke off and had no demonic stuff like that ever. And then in his movie, he got people killing, and then they ended up killing. We ain't never seen nobody get killed at a house party. That ain't never happened. Obviously, you know how I go. You like movies and TV show, they be crazy and everything, but like it's just to show you that the spirit that these people dance in. LeBron 6'8", 260, dancing around in the gold one piece with transgenders. What nigga from the hood? Who doing this? Who is doing this? And this still on YouTube. He up there voguing and doing all the dance move with transgenders. You 6'8", bro. Satan ain't got who in they grips? Satan got all these dudes in their teeth, bro. And if they don't do, they scared. They don't know what they don't know, man. But man, Ja Morant, I pray, hopefully, you know, it's been a lot of famous people seeing our interview. A lot of them hit me up. I'm talking about crazy names. Probably No Jumper and all that stuff is because they seen our interview and things like that. But man, Ja Morant, if you can ever get around to seeing this in any form of fashion, if anybody know Ja Morant, because this video, man, we 100,000s of thousands of people man, y'all need to warn him about what he probably getting himself into, but he might be already into it is what I think. But boy, that blood of Christ, it'll clean you free from all things, man, to protect you. But yeah, it's just sad that many people, it just shows you what this gangster spirit doing to everybody, that even basketball players want to, you know. I know I went deep in that, but yeah.
Quando Rondo recently did an interview with Sean Cotton and Say Cheese.
What?
And during this interview, he denied remembering anything about the day that King Von died. What do you think about that?
He don't want to talk about it. And I mean, like, if you don't want to talk about it, I would just say, why? People be so like, they got a lot. Like, we all know you remember. Just say, man, you a grown man. Just tell them the truth. Like, man, I don't want to talk about that. The moment make me, it make me uncomfortable. If it make you uncomfortable, it make you uncomfortable. But I want to know why, like, what did they want him to say? Or what did he think he gonna say, the truth? Or, I mean, I get that he, want to ask him questions like, pretty much leading up into it, like how this and how that. But man, I just think that, man, this, the whole situation that, I would say that this shouldn't have happened, but I know how when somebody it's so much stuff that went into planning in that day. That whole day was planned. That's why it happened the way it happened. It was too perfect. It was too perfectly planned. And he don't want to invite them memories back because niggas know what they do. They know how they conspire to take a life. And again, people say what they want, but I know I know Von had it coming, period. So I'm not, but again, he uses wicked to take out wickedness. So evil gonna take out evil. Von had what he had coming, but who did it? Another evil person. But that whole moment was preordained. And I believe, like, we know who was at the center, at the tip top of that, and that's Lil Durk. Lil Durk at the top of that. I believe that Lil Tim, Lil Durk, all of them, they had something going on. Because Lil Durk was supposed to be there. Niggas don't need do y'all even know that Lil Durk was supposed to be the same place that Von, he gave them the location to go to. And how you don't end up there? And how it just perfectly planned out is undercover cops and they just start shooting only at the guys. They ain't shooting nobody that started shooting first, but they shot at the Hey, it's crazy. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just laughing because we duped as a people. We lost and we so deceived. We easily deceived. Man. If I was a dude, I wouldn't want to talk about it either because he gonna bring up all, you feel me? He gonna bring up all of the truth about what really happened and only they know.
Well, Little Tim at some point is gonna have to go on trial for this. And it's probably better for Quando Rondo when he gets up there to be able to say, I don't remember. I don't know.
They gonna bring that song back up. Ain't no you don't remember. Ain't no you don't know. You made a song called End of Story and Von had a bunch of crazy stories and then you mocked it when he died and said end of story. You know. And then nigga, I'm not gonna let that ride. So if I got a nigga, Von gone, that was his part that he had to take. At least if Lil Tim get locked up, for some years that he could probably free himself from all the evils that's around him, because only when you separate from evil and really get to know who God is where you get to know how evil you once was. How do I know? Because I was that person. I am that person. These same niggas that they glorifying, they look at me, they're like, bro, somebody commented under the comment like, bro, weren't you one of them steppers? So nigga, because I was lost in, would y'all want for me to continue to be lost to lead y'all down to the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole? It's kind of like that's what people want. Like, why you telling these truths about these people when you used to really be one of them niggas? I'm trying to set y'all free from truths that's rooted in darkness. Yeah, it's the truth, but why should we glorify it and why should we not, bring the light and shine it on that darkness that everybody else is using like it's some form of entertainment, nigga, when I'm black? Why would I entertain my people that look like me dying, and that literally just makes it easier for me to die and for the people to laugh and talk about me? Why would I do that? What sense is that? White people ain't gonna do it. They damn sure don't do it right now because they know it's stupid. But who do it? The same people that they show on the TVs doing it. And then we go like, dang, they do look cool. Look what they getting. And it's just a bunch of collusion, a bunch of filth.
Mimo 600 recently made some headlines which shocked a lot of people. And he said that he went to Tuka's funeral. Did you see that?
Man, a lot of people went to Tuka's funeral. I don't know if Mimo did, but a few people went to his funeral because they buried him right down. He got buried at our church. One of my closest friends went to his funeral. The same one of the ones who was Darnell Jaquai. He ain't on the block no more, but everybody know him. Everybody know who Jaquai is. Everybody. He graduated with Sosa and them. And we all know him. He grew up on the block. And he went to the funeral. And we all asked him, like, bro, why did you go to the funeral? What was you doing at that man's funeral? It was crazy, bro, because on their way to folks' funeral, I'm not going to get no names, but, bro, we shot at them going to the funeral. Saw a few of them walking down the street and blew at them going to the funeral. True story. Real life, that's just how evil it is. That's how wicked we are. And niggas laughing, playing, and it's just like, man, do we hate our people, bro? But yeah, blew at them on their way there. I ain't never, bro. I doubt if Mimo 600 was there because nigga Mimo wasn't even outside when his brother got killed. Mimo was not in the streets running around and doing all that like after his brother got killed. Then that's when he started hanging out in the back. I remember him we was at the repast for Lil Steve's funeral. And I saw him and I'm like, man, he looked just like, I'm not trying to talk down on him. Yeah, I know he got more money than me now, so what I'm about to say, it ain't to talk down on him, but this is just what I remember when I saw today. He had on a dirty white t-shirt, and his teeth, and I was like, this nigga got on this dirty shirt at the repast. That's just what I was thinking. I was just thinking that, but I knew that was folks' brother and whatnot, but I was just like, man, I ain't never seen this nigga. But again, he wasn't never out there running around. Maybe Tay and all them knew him because y'all stay on 600. I'm talking about from going to parties and doing all the wild stuff, and he wasn't doing all that. So I doubt that he might have went to the funeral, but he wasn't going on no nigga, I'm one of them niggas and we gonna show up there. They ain't have killed that man. They ain't play like that. Them people don't play like that.
So why would somebody, not even Mimo, but why would somebody else like that didn't know him or lived in O Block or something go to his funeral?
Man, cause it was right down the way. And I think Jaquan went cause he said his mama knew Tuka mama. That still ain't no reason to go. Or I swear, I think that he said his mama he made him go. I think he said his mama made him go. I don't know why. But it wasn't like many niggas. Come on, you know who he is. Niggas ain't going to Tuka funeral. We didn't do that. But we knew Tuka. So if we would have went, we could have went. We should have went. But it would have been too much of chaos. Bro, we was with Tuka the days before he died.
Wait, you knew Tuka?
Yes. We was with Tuka the day before he died. Tuka used Boo Man. It's one of our homies on our block. Tuka's father was married to Boo Man's mother. Tuka used to always be on O Block. I seen him a few days before he got killed. We was up there politicking. Yes, real life politicking with that man. Tuka was around, I think maybe he probably is a year younger than me, or probably we might be the same age. I can't remember, but chances are he's younger than me because I'm a little bit older than like Boo Man. I'm like a couple years older than them or whatnot. But yeah, we real life knew Tuka. Wouldn't know how, like we knew him. Bro, he was always on the block. He didn't hang with the guys, but if you knew Lil D, Boo Man, and all they people, then going up there is when you got to see who you knew Tuka. You feel me? Because his dad was always on the block. And then sadly later, like I said, they ended up taking his dad's life. Killed him in his doorway.
Tuka's dad was killed inside of O Block?
Yeah.
Damn.
Inside in his doorway.
Damn.
In his doorway. Nigga going in the house. About to open up the door, got shot in his head. But he ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But the only thing was, he was Tuka's dad. That's crazy.
Damn. How long did this happen after Tuka was killed?
That just happened like 2-3 years ago. Probably like three, at the most 4 years, I would say, but I'm not even sure if it was, I would say about 3 years ago. He ain't been dead, but man, the time be passing so fast, man. When somebody die, boy, time do not stop, and you would never know. But within the last 5 years, so it happened way after. It happened way after, way after.
And knowing Tuka, you know, were you guys really into it at the time with him, or?
No, I mean, how it was like, we know that we into it. But if you ever it's when you around somebody and you see that they cool, you know y'all gangs into it, but like, man, this nigga cool. I ain't got nothing against this man. We was kind of still young too. You feel me? We wasn't really playing around in the war like that. We probably want to go fight them, but we wasn't really seeking to kill like that. Like, at least for the niggas that I was predominantly hanging out with. Now, like I said again, Von hung out with us. For a long time, him and T-Roy, they always hung out with us, but they wanted to really do what they started to do. Niggas like me, look Gucci, I'm like, man, we gonna play with guns to look cool, but ain't nobody trying to kill nobody. I'd rather fight. I'm not getting locked up for murder, and I'm not finna be just out there trying to take a life for nothing. And so, yeah, Tuka, bro, that whole, like, yeah, he was a cool dude. He ain't really talk that much, for real, but he wasn't no overly like, and maybe because he kind of knew that we was into it and whatnot, and he used to be over there for his dad. Like, you know, his dad stayed there. And he had little brothers and everything.
I mean, it couldn't have been that bad, right? If he was still
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Remember, Tuka was the first one that, like, he was like he did. That set off everything. When Tuka died, the war was not a war gone. The war is fully on. So they was pre-planning what they were going to do. That's why they ended up taking OD life on Tuka Death Day.
He got killed a year later.
Yep. Same. Right. 365 days.
That's right. Do you have any memories with Tuka or hanging out with him or anything?
Just the last memory that I had with him was a couple of days before they killed him. I was going up to Boo Man Creek. You know, I used to hang with Boo Man. It was like me and Lil Gooch. They stayed on the church end. And so we used to go and recruit our own niggas, you feel me? Cause we wasn't trying to do everything Von and them was doing, but we was doing some stuff. But we wasn't trying to like murdering and all that. Like that really wasn't on our mind heavy. And so, you know, me, I got to get the guy. I'm a leader. So we used to just go around recruiting our own little homies. And we was kind of like recruiting. We was bringing in his, like the people who stayed in that house where he was visiting all the time. We was kind of bringing them niggas into the whole O Block fold. And then we was creating our little gang on the church end. We went down there and polluted the church end when we got older type deal. We started getting all them niggas like, man, we gonna bring y'all niggas into the fold type deal. And so, man, I just remember talking to them that little that day before, you know, like a few days before he died. And man, it ain't nothing that I really paid too much attention to because we ain't know he was gonna die. You know, obviously, if you know somebody gonna die 2 days later, you gonna just sit there and pay attention to everything so you don't miss nothing. But man, it was just regular conversation up there messing around. We was play fighting and stuff. We was just play fight.
Well, like you said, you know, a year later, OD was killed, and recently, a death video came out, which, I think you said it was fake, but then
I saw
I don't know. There's.
It was crazy, right? So, and then I got a lot to say, and I'm not gonna try to be too long on this. The camera view that they showed, mind you, I was out there, and so in my mind, it was a long time ago. Yeah, but the camera angle that they was showing, the view that they was showing, in my mind, Cam, because I made a video, I'm like, it's fake. But then I got back out there and I was like, I made a mistake. I didn't lie. I was wrong. It ain't like I knew to tell a lie is to know the truth, but to tell the opposite. To be wrong is just being wrong. And so the view, and this is so crazy, Cam, because I'm about to bring a lot in from this one little viewpoint. When you look at where OD died at, right here from the block, 64th, right here, Sammy's, AutoZone, you got the store, you got 65th, all down that way. It's no cameras right there, but one camera. It's no trees right there in no area. So the little 30-second clip that everybody was seeing first, the little however long it was, they was showing a view of what OD died from directly right there. So I'm like, man, is this a viewpoint of where it looked? Because I thought that was the guys, but I'm like, ain't no cameras right there that could catch that moment. And then some of the stuff, it didn't look the same based off of what the camera angle was. And then so people start, and this is the crazy part. In the video, it shows Troy doing what I came on your show, on your platform and told. Nobody even knew. They said they thought that I was lying, saying that niggas wouldn't even have known that was Troy doing that until if I had never came on your podcast and tell them that was Troy's last word to OD, which OD's last words to Troy. Nobody ever told them that at all. But niggas was in the comments saying, oh, Block J Hood a lame, he a goofy, he lied and said that this ain't the video, but that's Troy right there. And then all they had to do was think about who told y'all Troy did that. Sherlock's, everybody so smart. Sherlock's, nobody can't get y'all no truth, no nothing. And I ain't giving y'all the truth to glorify the situation. I'm giving y'all the truth to show where we messing up, how dysfunctional we is, shining light on darkness, so it's not the same. And so again, when I saw the full video, man, that camera was all the way on 63rd. And I'm like, how that camera get all, and we did so much stuff on 63rd. I'm talking about we shot plenty of guns on 63rd. And so you mean to tell me that camera angle was able to capture that and release it so many years later, but they weren't able to come arrest us for all the stuff we did right there on 63rd? But 63rd camera can see all the way to a point where I thought that had to be somebody else, that it looked like the same old block area and all. I thought that it was truly, Cam, a different hood, but they had kind of like the same thing going on, man. A lot of niggas down in Chicago, you just never know. You feel me? But that should be something y'all think about. All these video footage, even Lil JoJo footage, they saw the same car that Lil JoJo had, the car that supposedly killed him. They saw the car. Nobody get arrested, but they let the footage out so many years down the line. These deaths could be prevented, but they don't prevent them. I'm running on 63rd, flip-flops, straight shorts, no shirt, no nothing. Heathen. Little heathen kid with a gun in my hand. Running all right there. I ran from the police from 63rd. I was finna shoot somebody. And then something say, look to your left. I look to my left, and what I see was a cop car. Pushed it back to the block. All I got is on flip. And they could have came and got me. I'm saying, not to say man, y'all know how I am. That stuff is whack. I ain't what to try to go get out of my own homies. That makes you a coward. Would never do it. I was lost in darkness. But again, I'm just saying this to say, like, man, these people know what we doing, Cam, and they could arrest a lot of people. Since nobody died right there, they like, no, let's let these niggas actually kill somebody. And then in the time when it's useful, then we'll do it. Bring this stuff out. But it's crazy, because if you can see from 63rd all the way right there, bro, what else y'all not seeing? What else did y'all have seen and ain't, y'all come on, because people should go to jail before they take a life, and that way that blood ain't on their hands. I would rather us go, because you can sit there, reflect, think about the life you living, and be like, man, I don't want that for myself. But they ain't allow us to do that. They let these things play out. Just think about that. That's why the camera angle was so far away from the block. I thought that there had to be another block.
Man. So you were surprised that it came out then?
Yeah. I was surprised. Not only was I surprised, when I went back and I watched the full video, I was hurt, bro. Because I was out there. And in my head, I'm like, what is they doing? I was smart, Cam. I was doing, it's wartime. We knew they had, before they killed, they shot a few times. They came through shooting a few times. They just never shot nobody. And when they were standing out there, all out in the streets like that, I remember vividly in my head, because I wasn't going out there to hang with them, because I'm like, bro, it's wartime. What is y'all doing outside of the gate? Like, they just can't ride up right there or just stick their arm over the gate. And then a couple seconds after that, I'm watching BJ and OD ride their bikes. Next thing you know, fall, take off. Crazy though. But I was hurt, man, because it brings back all the emotions. It brings back, when T-Roy was right there doing all that, like I was watching. That's how I was able to tell people, like, man, T-Roy did this. And OD said this to him in his last moments. Like, I'm not hearing this. Niggas never heard this nowhere. Y'all ain't hear this nowhere, but when I said it on there, but yeah, man, it just brought me a lot of, man, this is PTSD, man. It just be hurt, pain, bad memories.
Well, you mentioned that you had told people what OD told T-Roy at that moment?
Yeah. He told him, he was on the ground. He like, man, they got me, bro. That was his last words to Troy. They got me, bro. That was his last words. They got me, bro. Nigga ain't say, tell my mama I love him. And that's all like, they got me, bro. And when Troy said that, I was just like, all it was like, man, they got me, bro. Like, and I love OD, bro. I love OD. OD, bro. Everybody that dies, a lot of people, it's a group of people that know him for not the ugly, but for the, for the smiles that they could put on the face. And man, OD was just a cool, laid back person, man. And it's just sad we be deceived into the life that we be living, man. We don't even get an opportunity to live for real. We die before we can even get to living, man.
Well, I seen you and Tay Capone had a little bit of back and forth, and you guys had some disagreements, and it would seem to all be over religion. What all happened with that?
Man, Tay is in Tay, and as you can see, Lil Durk and all these rappers are right now, they're going to Islam. And look, for the people that see this, man, my war not with y'all. Y'all war ain't with me. It's with these religions. Christianity too. And I'm a follower of Christ, but Christianity was a name that worldly men gave followers of Christ. Christ didn't ordain for us to be called Christians. Just got to put that in. So when I say what I say, I don't hate y'all. I hate the lie that we believe that is truth. And they gonna say, man, so what makes yours truth and ours not? If you would just open your heart up to actually reading and praying and see the wisdom that is hidden inside of that holy Bible, it would paint so much of a different picture of what's really going on.
So what happened with you and Tay, though? How'd you guys end up getting into it?
So I'm talking about Islam. I was making videos talking about Islam, and Tay got out there and he made a video and whatnot, and he's like, J Hood, man, nigga, we love you, and I love Tay. I genuinely love Tay. We got our own, you feel me? I love him. It ain't no hate in my heart against none of them. But it was for the videos that I was making on Instagram, and I think somebody maybe sent it to him because I talked about Islam. I was just telling people to, man, get out of these religions. And these religions is just that, a religion, but it ain't salvation. In Christ, not Christianity, but in Christ is salvation. And so we was all, into it over that. He made his little video, and obviously everybody sided with him because his whole standpoint was, man, let people do what they want. And I love y'all too much to just let y'all think that it's okay. When you do the work and not just become a part of something because you want to be a part of a group, but you do the work, you praying on it, you asking God to show you truth. See, people don't do that. And so they pretty much just believe anything. And the last thing I want to say with this is, Tay and Ollie, it's no coincidence that Lil Durk is a Muslim too. But it's no coincidence that these dudes is worshiping Allah, but their lives are not reflecting worshiping who they talking about they God is. And it's just to show, because in there ain't no salvation. And it's the same for people who talk about Christianity, because they want the title, but they don't want to live the way that Christ told for us to live. But they gonna say that, they gonna have this title for you to think that they know God. Nigga, your lifestyle shows if you know him or not. What you say and what you do with your mouth. And Tay, he's Allah this, Allah that. But go down, up and down on his Instagram, and I'm not trying to beat him down, but I'm just trying to show y'all how this salvation thing, you can only walk into salvation when you truly do what's acceptable to God. And so if his religion is real, and like he think it is, and what it says it is, then he must ain't really reading, or the truth ain't in there, because look at the lifestyle that he's reflecting. If your God is real, then wouldn't you serve him? God said to love me is to serve me. What God they serving? What God y'all know that they just having y'all still live a life like evil, going up and down to his Instagram page, and he still hanging with killers. And what profit of righteous to hang with unrighteousness? What profit is that? Sinners to hang with no sinner, people that love sin. No sinners to hang. Come on, it makes no sense. But it was just pretty much all over religion. I love Tay. I hope he used his voice for truth, because he got the gift of gab. You know, it's on his heart, but we be led astray. That's all it is. We be led astray by all these religions.
Blac Chyna recently came out and said that she's changing her life. And, she quit OnlyFans. She's reversing her plastic surgery. She's made over $200 million on OnlyFans, and she gave it up. And she says she's getting a degree in Bible college.
She got one.
Got one. Okay.
That's the first red flag. It goes back to what I said earlier, Cam. What a rich man saith, everyone covers their mouth. What they say, they extol it to the clouds. But if I say what I'm about to say, they ain't gonna believe it. But Blac Chyna, and for those who believe in her, understand that these people who rich, got all that money, they ain't got no time to be going to no Bible college, learning about no Bible. And I'm gonna take y'all somewhere else in a minute. But Google is free, and everybody use it to look up these videos. Nigga, Google how long it takes to get a Bible college degree. Y'all believe anything. She got baptized last year. She saved the footage all the way to this year. Why you ain't been showed it? You ain't get baptized this year. You got baptized a year ago. And you was holding that for what? They still Satan's puppet. How I know Blac Chyna Satan's puppet? One, you went to Bible school, you got baptized with the water, you did all this, so you gotta know who God is, right? The fear of God has to be in you for you to get baptized, for you to go get a degree in Bible college. Even to get a degree in Bible college, there's no way that you can miss fornicating sin. So you got a Bible degree, and what do they ask Blac Chyna? Are you gonna, I know you're saved now, the love of God is in you. Are you gonna stop having sex? Oh no, I ain't gonna stop having sex because I ain't trying to be mad at the end of the night. What? Anybody that's truly reading a book know that the Most High don't want us fornicating, having sex with people we ain't married with. So you went to Bible college. And I'm not trying to beat her down because I hope she's fully coming for the truth, but I'm gonna just show you, I'm just saying if you really know God, then the fornicate. I know some things I'm not saying this is gonna drop off, but an acceptable reply for someone who you would think would have wisdom is, oh man, I'm struggling in this area. I'm struggling with, staying away from having sex and whatnot. So I hope God cast those spirits out of me into where I'm not, thinking about them. She ain't say that. She straight up said, Oh no, I ain't. She just talk about some worldly stuff. Talking about, so you think that having sex is what grants you peace? And y'all believe that she got a Bible degree? And if she do got a Bible degree, it's just for show. They got money. They could pay anybody for $1 million. I would do it if I was in the world and I was working for somebody and they was like, man, hey, look, print me out this degree. I'll give you $1 million. Who wouldn't do that? But again, she say she believe her life gonna reflect it. And I ain't talking about stopping. You don't need to do OnlyFans no more. You said she made $200 million. $200 million. You don't need to do it no more. So don't make it seem like, oh, I stopped this. You reverse your butt implant and all that. Nigga, your lifestyle means that you are saved, not what you take out your body. Like how Christ told them how the Pharisees were sitting around and they said, y'all eat with dirty hands. Ain't that defiling y'all? He said it ain't what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out of a man. And not just his words. What actions is making manifest from the heart that she got? She still having sex. Was talking about she saved and went to Bible college and fornicating. You can look at the 10 Commandments right now and thou shalt not fornicate. How you missed that?
There was a post going around with King Von's son hanging out with OTF. Did you check that out?
I mean, I seen it. I can't remember how I saw it, but I was on Von Mom's page, I believe, or his sister Sky page. Cause for somebody that I follow Von Mom, and then so I was just trying to look through the pictures, pretty much see how people been doing and whatnot. I messaged her, she ain't got, probably a lot of people she ain't messaged me back. She ain't even look at it. And when I just wanted to see she remember me, which I know clearly she gonna remember me and whatnot. And then kind of tell her why I'm doing what I'm doing in her son's name and things like that, and kind of trying to let her know like I love Von, but now we got to focus on those alive, like Von's son and, Jiggy, you still got another son alive and whatnot. But yeah, so I saw baby Von, DJ Benz was at Kima house and he was there with baby Von. And then, so for me, I'm thinking about like Von being where he is right now. Do we think that Von going out how he went out? I'm talking about, see, the thing about us is we alive, so we still thinking with our flesh. When you die, there's no flesh to trick you. There is no flesh to feel emotions. Now you know the truth. Bible literally says that more blessed is the man that dies, because when he dies, he now knows everything. The truth is really, you feel me? The truth is there. And so I'm thinking like, would Von want his son to run with these same dudes who we know that a few of them conspired against him so that whole moment, and it's just so much that I want to say, so I'm gonna try to comment, because baby Von need to be up under somebody's wing like me, and it ain't got nothing to do with Von. It got everything to do with him not going, if he hang with DJ Benz, Lil Durk, OTF, the fans who wish that they could be around them, they don't see the deaths that's happening. They don't see the dysfunctional lifestyles that they are in. All they do, this is why India left Durk. Cause why? He can't stop cheating. And I'm just saying, so if you get in this lifestyle where all these women keep throwing themselves on you, it's gonna be, once you start sleep, it's gonna be hard for you to refrain from what the flesh is calling for. And so I think that it is not smart for her, his mom, to allow for him to be with these people in this area. Because where is he? What is that gonna do for my daddy? Was this big gang banger and he got all this love for it. He even got rich for it. Y'all think he gonna go and live a life outside of what his daddy just lived and died for? No. He gonna go right up. They ain't gonna do, Lil Durk gonna hold his hand. Cause he know that this king, if that boy was like 12 or 13, they'll probably be having him trying to rap right now. They had him trying to put on an image right now to monetize off of his daddy death. It's only because they monetize. So all y'all who think, would you want your son to run with the same dudes who you really didn't even trust when you was alive? Because Von didn't trust them niggas. He told me, oh man, it's hard to know who to trust because everybody treat me like I'm a god. Won't nobody tell me no more. When he started getting to the level of fame that he rose to, niggas weren't treating him like Von, and he already got that love before he was rich. But then he said he got rich And now he didn't know who was telling the truth and who was telling the lies because they gonna say everything that he, what they think that he need to say. Not what they think that, not what he needs to hear, but what he wanna hear. Nah, people, they yes man. That's what he's saying. Everybody a yes man now, bro. And I'm like, you know me, nigga, I'll never be a yes man. And I was trying to tell him to stop and stay away from them. But that whole thing, man, I think that Baby Von need not to have them in his life. But since we coveters, and then people don't even know that's a sin. But because we want to be famous and want to have that money and all that, his mama ain't gonna stop them from going around them. And then what's gonna happen to Lil Von years from now? I pray not the same outcome that his daddy had, but look at Von and his daddy. Von went down the same path his daddy did, and he died the same way.
I seen you were brought up on No Jumper. And, you know, I think they mentioned seeing your interviews and liking your interviews and liking your stories. You know, what'd you think when they brought you up?
Man, first off, what I thought about was they ain't liking like the stories that we bringing out, like the truth and the righteousness that's being spoken. They only paying attention to the negative stories. They only like the killing stories and this and this and this. And they ain't got date. I pray for people. I be praying on my stream and all this. And it's a year and some months after, and they still bringing up the YNW Melly thing when y'all worried about me and what I said about Melly, and y'all, like, because Melly is a rapper, he's famous, they want him out on the streets. And he killed his 2 friends. This is dysfunctional. They worried about the dude that's speaking truth rather than the dude that took the lives. Those 2 dudes could have been y'all. What happens if one of your dudes do that to you? Would you want for your life to be spoken about in truth? Or would you want people to hide that truth, not to speak on it? Put y'all selves in somebody else's shoes and think deeply about how they lost their life and if it was you. And then think about the work that I do and then judge me off of that. Because there was a few of them, they said that they liked it and whatnot. But then when they start saying, oh, he opened his mouth and said this, bro, y'all niggas don't know what I've been through. Half of y'all, you could tell that they ain't been through no hurt, no pain because they still glorifying it. And I guess that you get 2 different versions from people who go through hurt pain. You get those who turn to God, and then you get those who forget God because they blaming God on everything that man is doing. So maybe that might be them. And that's why niggas, they glorifying the destruction of our people, which is we all one people, but we come from the same tribe. We all got our tribes, we all got our nations, we got our tongues, but in the end, we all one people. And y'all loving to see the tribe of Judah die. They love it. They glorify it. They won't speak on anything other than that. They not gonna bring me. If they bring me on there, watch what the titles be. I'm gonna have to flip them. That's just where it is, bro. But man, you know, hey, God, the Most High gonna get the glory out of anything. He will not be mocked. What a man sows, he shall reap. Period. It ain't no running from it. What Von sold? Death. What happened? Dead. LA. Niggas don't even know. A few days before LA, Capone, before he got killed, a few days before he got killed, he had a body. They gonna hate me for telling the truth. But I'm just trying to show y'all that the life they want us to live is your death awaits you in that life. That path to destruction is very wide. And in that path, it leads to death. And it ain't the physical death that y'all need to be worried about. Because if hell is real, which it is, and eternal, do you really want to play with that? When he said 2/3 of all mankind, so don't just think about 2/3 of 8 billion people. Think of 2/3 of however many billions that ever walked the face of this earth and see that you got a slim chance. That's what I got to say about that, man. It's crazy though, but yeah, hey, I you know, the fleshly me was like, dang, it's cool that these niggas kind of know who I am, but then it's like, I thought about like, nigga, what they know who you are for? It ain't because of the God you speaking on. It ain't for the truth, the reason behind the truth. But it's just glorifying the negativity, the old block lifestyle that everybody's so infatuated with. That's what it is. It ain't about me. It's about negativity. It's about the darkness that I presented, that because they can't see through spiritual eyes, all they see is darkness and they don't see what I'm really trying to bring to the table. But yeah, that's what it is.
Well, I think you do good on there.
Man, hey, you know how I appreciate you feeling that way, man. And hey, I'm just thankful you even brought me back to, you feel me, as much as you did, because we talk about what we talk about, but I say a lot of spiritual stuff that, quite frankly, I didn't know if you had a heart to listen to it continually, to want it on your platform. You just never know. You just never know these days. You'll never know who, because a lot of times we are deceived, and all we need to do is just hear something that we think about and be like, man, what that man was saying, like, it made me really think. And so, man, yeah, anyways, man, it's just a blessing to be able to if one life is changed for the better, that's enough. If one life is changed for the better, man. You know,
I do a lot of negative content. I'm not going to run from that. So whenever I have the opportunity to do some stuff that's more positive, I always try to take up on that opportunity.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Well, hey, the truth starts with us first. And the Most High said, man, he can't do nothing with nobody who won't even acknowledge the truth within themselves, man. And so, like, I had to acknowledge my truth, you acknowledge yours, and I get it. I understand it. You feel me? So all we could do as people is try to have more grace. You feel me? You got a whole profession of, you know, pretty much what you do, and you bring people on there to tell their stories. It's just, most niggas' stories is just rooted in darkness. And they not people who are living in the light, so they not shining the light on the darkness. So, and that's why we clicked up. That's why the Most High moves your heart, and you like, bring him on. Cause he gotta make sure that people get warned, Cam. He's not gonna let people die in their inequity. He's gonna send you a warning. How he gonna send a warning through people who don't seek him? He gonna send it through a person. That's the only way you're going to be able to hear and listen, because we ain't in the book. So he got to send you a warning through the people so that you would have been warned. You can reject it, but you just can't say God ain't no just God, because he warned you, and he going to warn many people. Not once, not twice, but he going to warn you a lot of times before you exit. Before you die in your sin, you will be warned. That's the truth.
Well, man, J Hood, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro, more than you would even know, because, man, hey, my whole duty, my whole job is to just try to save a few souls if we can, to get them to see the truth so that they will get together, because I'm only as powerful. We more powerful together, bro. We more powerful together, I'm telling you. And the world, if y'all don't see the decline happening right now, I pray for y'all, like, for real, the world is declining. It's not going, in the next 20 years, mark my words, which my words ain't my words, they hit. The next 20 years ain't gonna look like those past 20 years getting to here where we thought it was progressing. Oh no, Babylon is falling. And you don't have to believe, you can think what you want. You gonna see real soon when World War III kick off, all these bombs get to going, and then the mark of the beast come out, and you don't know who God is, so they mess with all of our money. They could take all of our money right now. All of it is in a digital bank. What happened if all that stuff crashed and then can't none of us? You gonna need God. And if your relationship ain't tight with God to eat, because you don't know that he can make things appear out of nothing, because that's the might, the power in him. You're gonna go take that mark, you're gonna confront over to this system. And now you ain't gonna be able for God to feed you. Because it's a relationship we need to be working on with him while this world is going where it's going, man. I hope people just hear that and be able to let that meditate. You feel me? And from that meditating on your heart, man, I hope that many, not just me, but you, Cam, your kids, we got to start covering our people with the blood of Christ, bro. I know it ain't being talked about, but people ain't, if they was, people don't think about God until death is sitting right in their face. Then you want to repent. You think people on their deathbeds, we think that they worried about money, who they about to lay down with, the entertainment. Talking about you got a bullet in your head. It's real. Your life fading away. People are going to be spending those last moments like, oh, I don't know what's coming next. God, please, if there is a heaven or a hell, please don't send me to hell. But you got the ability right now. Don't try to wait till your deathbed, because I assure you, if you try to, well, I ain't going to say what God will do for certain people, because if you repent on your deathbed and you feel it at heart, then, man, God is graceful. But he said he gives grace to who he wants to. So it ain't like he gonna give it to everybody. So, man, yeah, man, I know I'm always flipping in and talking for the extra, but, man, thank you for having me on, bro. I appreciate it.
No problem, bro. Glad to have you, man.
Hey, man.
Until next time.
Hey, for real. Till next time.
All right, bro.
All righty.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.